Sprint Cup Series action.
You know what his best start is?
Want to make it a guess that it's probably 8th?
Good guess.
Well, he's right now at 1:13.17 seconds. We'll see how that shakes out as we've got a lot more to go with these guys. Let's check in with Dave.
With Tony Stewart now, who has qualified in pretty well there.
But and Sullivan was reading some about that, and certainly the numbers don't lie with the people that are going in there. But again, something fun to watch.
Jerry Rice has got the numbers certainly of all time for a receiver, but in this passing-oriented offense, maybe Emmett Smith's numbers of 18,000 plus holds up for our lifetime at least, and maybe for a long, long time to come. Tony Ave, as you saw his numbers there as he's out on course from Hurley, Wisconsin. He's a current point leader in the SCCA Pro Racing Trans Am Series. A lot of road racing experience, a little puff of smoke out the back.
Yeah, you did see that smoke. It might have just maybe a little too much oil in it, making this run and maybe spewing just a little bit out. Doesn't look like it's anything serious.
He ran in the top 10 for most of that Road America Nationwide race. If you remember, though, he had a spin on the last lap. Boy, he has got a lot of rub there.
Yeah, that's a lot of smoke there, though.
And it's continuing on down through the front straightaway, so
pretty heavily.
I don't think that's tire rub. That could be something else.
Could have actually maybe even over one of those curbs put a hole in the oil pan.
Something like that. Transmission's another area.
Yeah, and transmission gets stressed quite a bit here. It could have cracked the case. Kind of coming from the middle of the car.
Well, now the big question is if any of that gets on the tires, he could find himself in a bit of a mess.
Well, that and the people coming behind him, that's who's probably more concerned about it.
He heads down through the bus stop.
I'm sure that NASCAR will take a look at this maybe after he makes his effort, just to make sure that he is not putting anything down, that this was just creating
a lot of smoke
right there, though.
He has started twice before here at the Glen. Right now, he has taken care of every mosquito through this entire 2.45 mile layout. They're not going to be around for miles. He's survived all the corners so far. One to go. Tony brings it down the front straightaway. Remember, the best time was Joe Nemechek at minute 13.1, and Tony, the third of the three, at a minute 14 and change. And I think you're right. I think everybody's going to be wanting to take a look at that and see what that issue really is. And we're getting word that NASCAR may take time to check the track. So that's going to give us a chance. We'll step aside for just a brief moment. And everything seems to be okay, so next car will be fired. Tony Ave's oil, whatever that was, did not get all over the track, and that will mean Dave Blaney will come out. Now, of the 11 go-or-go-homers, Blaney was third from the bottom, which, when you do the math, that's not a really good place to be.
So that was practice.
That was practice. We're about to find out what Mr. Blaney can do.
Yeah, hopefully in his driver compartment he had a little reserve left, and go grab him a couple of tenths here.
His start was 16th back in 2003. His best finish was 8th. You know, during the break, DJ, we were talking about the fact that we thought maybe we'd see a close 8/100ths of a second.
Yeah, we were pretty certain that somebody was going to down below that track record, but I think the track temperature and I could attribute some of it to these guys not having a chance to be on the racetrack this morning.
Tony Stewart said in his interview, he said, man, it took me a couple of corners to get my rhythm going.
So I think that may have had it. At least Carl came close. It didn't make us look like we totally didn't know what we were talking about, which I'm sure there's people out there that think that anyway.
Well, Dave Blaney's talking up. That dates back all the way to 1992 when he began back at Rockingham. This is in comparison to Joe Beck is the best of the three go-or-go homers so far.
A little bit of there up through the S's.
We compare these two because one of these two is going to get locked in after this lap's completed.
3 times in the books right now. It's Nemechek, Gilliland, and then Tony Ave.
hear him in and out of the throttle a lot as he tried to go around turn 5 and exit. Wow. I was going to say used up a lot of asphalt, but a little bit of dirt and grass there too.
Down through turn number 6, now heading for the final corner. And the big question will be, where does he slot in to relationship with Nemechek, Gilliland, and Tony Ave? Checkered flag is out, and Dave comes across the line, and, well, he is ahead of Tony Ave. So he is now 3rd quickest of the 4 go-or-go-homers.
Yeah, that could kind of leave him right in that same spot, very close the way he was in practice as to whether he's going to race tomorrow or not.
Well, and Tony Ave was the 11th of the 11 go-or-go-homers as far as speed. So you're right, they're basically slotted right where they practiced yesterday. So very vulnerable with still a number of cars to go. 39 of the 46 have officially taken times. And out on track now will be J.J. Yeley. He started twice here before, back in 06 and 07. His best finish here at the Glen was 18th back in 2007. Back at Pocono, he finished 38th in the, it was his 9th race in this number 46 car. Through the bus stop.
If he can match his practice time, he'll be the fastest of these cars after making on speed. 72.5 second lap yesterday in practice. Right now, Joe Nemechek is the fastest of all the cars, and he's ran a 73.17.
And he is locked in.
David Gilliland is the car that JJ will have to beat right here if he wants to lock himself in.
Yeah, so the time he's looking to beat is 1:13.37 seconds, and now we'll get an idea. And you'll see there that his lap tracker will be up against David Gilliland's time. Looking real good so far.
Yeah, he's really doing a nice job to this point. Yeah, gaining more time up through the S's as he starts to exit onto the back straightaway. Has a nice cushion built up.
In fact, it's increasing, and, well, now going a little bit south as he heads into the bus stop.
I think he made the approach there. Yeah, he lost a lot of time. Thinking he just maybe got out early to get back to the throttle some, but he had about a half a second cushion going in.
Well, he dropped below, then came back up above, and as he heads to 6, he's now back in the red. If he wants to lock himself in, he's got to have a good turn 6 and well, now even a better turn 7.
Yeah, got really loose off a 6 there. That cost him some time.
Hits that inside curb, comes all the way out close to the safer barrier. Well, he's not going to lock himself in right now. He crosses the line, and he's ahead of Blaney and Ave, but Gilliland's now locked in with Joe Nemechek. Stay with us. More to come. Cars have taken times. 5 more to go. As we mentioned, 3 to go home. So Bobby safely ensconced in the field, and that'll bring us up to the 36 of Ron Fellows.
He was fast yesterday.
He was the 2nd quickest yesterday of the go-or-go-homers. And while he's on his warm-up lap, let's talk a little bit about baseball, because we've got action on ESPN both Sunday and Monday night. And first up will be the Red Sox with Josh Beckett back. He'll be on the mound against the rival New York Yankees, led by A-Rod on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball at 8 Eastern. Then on ESPN's Monday Night Baseball, 7 Eastern, we've got the St. Louis Cardinals and the Cincinnati Reds. Both games available on ESPN3.com.
Because Red Sox will be ready for those Yankees.
Yeah, take my son Zach over there. As long as these boys all behave tomorrow afternoon, we'll be there Sunday night. Watch the Yankees and Red Sox, and hopefully another Yankees win.
Oh, golly. Alan Bessick will be running up here to the booth to get equal time.
Yeah, I know who won.
Yeah, the Red Sox. That's right.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, let's talk a little bit more about Ron Fellows. He has 21 Sprint Cup starts, all but 1 on the road courses. He has a total of 7 car truck win combinations here at the Glen, 3 in the Nationwide Series, 2 in the truck, and 2 in the NASCAR East Series. Whoa, a little smoke there.
So what you saying, he can pretty much drive anything here?
I've seen him literally drive everything here. Sports cars, you name it. In fact, the only thing I haven't seen him in is an Indy car, because he's so darn tall, I don't think he could fit.
Got a good lap going here.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, yeah. We're switching over to the pole because he's flying good enough to get himself safely in the show.
Look back on that tracker, you can see how he beat Carl Edwards through turn 1.
Yeah, he's positioned himself to get inside the top 20 here.
He's going to start 12th a little bit later this afternoon in the NASCAR Nationwide Series race. Here he comes through turn 6. He's looking at a position 23rd. Now up to 21st. Back to 23rd through the final corner. Right up against the rumble strips. Down the front straightaway. And Ron in the field. And Palmer's in the 20th position. A minute 12.09 seconds. Yeah, heads on back to the garage area. It still means Yeley, Blaney, and Ave are on track right now at Watkins Glen. P.J. Jones in the second Robbie Gordon car as he is coming down the front straightaway with checkered flag in hand. And does he make it into the field? Yes, he does, with a nice run of a minute 13.34 seconds. Locks himself in. And probably should take the moment while we have it, wishing Dad Parnelli Jones a happy 77th birthday coming up August 12th. And while he comes on out, August 11th, you better remember a birthday in your family too there, big boy.
Older brother Glenn.
Notice he said older.
Yes. Yeah, he
Laps here and
old.
has the 09 car in the field. Turning around to Ron Fellows here, who has put the 36 car in the field as well. What was that lap like for you?
Actually, the car was quite good. The issue is, as always, trying to make sure you get in the show, and I was cautious in the brake zones, but that's the best it's been. I'm happy with that, and now we can sleep. Now we're in the race.
No, you can't sleep because you have a nationwide race, but you can sleep tonight after you win that, right?
Well, bouncing back and forth, it's just the pressure these guys are under week in, week out to get them in the show, and then you just never know what's going to happen. But I'll tell you what, Tommy and the guys have done a really good job. We've been bouncing around anywhere from 10th to 20th in practice, so I'm proud of the effort they put in and for a small operation. And thanks, Richie Gilmore.
Yeah, he had a lot to do with that. Good for Ron to jump in the 36 and a good lap for him, getting that in the show, guys.
Yes, it was. And right,
go out to make a qualifying effort here, but Michael McDowell and Max Pappas.
Yeah, in fact,
very accomplished.
in the go or go home category, McDowell was 4th quickest in final practice, and Max Pappas, still to come, was the best.
Mad Max. Sure, he's going to lay down a good lap.
Michael doing double duty, one of the 13. Boy, came over that awfully rough. He's going to start 15th.
Lap.
Yeah, I know. Starts 15th in the nationwide race, which is coming up next right here on ESPN.
Turn 5 is going to be such an interesting corner as we get to the nationwide race this afternoon and then the Cup race tomorrow. I'm just anxious to see these guys try to come off of there too wide and what's going to transpire at the exit.
It's going to be fun from here.
Well, I think the bus stop's going to be fun too, because I think you're going to see a lot of people trying to stuff their nose underneath somebody, and we'll see the fireworks as we're watching right now. Michael McDowell compared to J.J. Yeley, and it looks like he is on his way to safely putting his car in the field. Let's switch it over to pole sitter Carl Edwards.
That's a good lap now. He's tracking 13th up through the back straightaway, 8th and 11th. See how he gets through this bus stop.
Yeah, probably a little conservative getting there, which is a smart thing in his position.
Amazing how much time, though, he can lose right there.
Through turn 5, heading now up to the final 2 corners here at Watkins Glen on this 2.45 mile layout. And it looks like McDowell is going to put himself safely in the field. He's got one more corner to negotiate, and this will be bad news for David Gilliland. Great view of him coming out of the final corner, down the front straightaway. And as he takes the checkered flag, Michael McDowell is safely in the field, third quickest of the go-or-go homers, and that means David Gilliland is still in, and it's J.J. Yeley, the man on the bubble. Well, let's check in with Patrick Carpentier, Dave.